What's going on, guys and gals? My name is William Clark, and welcome to a video. So in this video, I don't know, and I've been watching a lot of how to drive tutorials on YouTube. Well, looks pretty good. Like, yeah, like I can get the gist of stuff, like how to start the car. Obviously, I know how to do that. I don't. But it's just so basic. Putting the car in certain positions and what to do in those positions, blah blah blah, and the windshield wipers and all that. Thing is, multiple issues are occurring here. One, I don't have a car, so I can't really test this kind of shit out anywhere. The school would be a great place to do so, or around the parking lot of the funeral home. Be kind of great place to practice all this shit. Another thing is that to get a car, it's too much money, like 20,000 something, 19,000. Yeah, I'm better off actually getting my license and someone either donating me their car or whatever, or it's like buying a car like 1,000 or two on Craigslist or some shit. Another thing is that even if I had the money, I don't have a goddamn license. So I don't have a fucking permit, so it's an issue. You wanna know why I'm wanting to walk to wherever I'm walking to? It's because I don't have any money to buy a car, get a license, to do whatever. So, yeah. The thing is, I know this is standard for every person in the world, at least here in the States. People need to have a license of some sort. Though, here's my outlook on the whole thing. I think there are people that do, and people that don't. People that do probably are going to be troublesome. It's like, yes, you need to know how to drive and all this good shit. It's like graduating or whatever. But it doesn't matter how well you drive in the long run. License or not, there's always going to be that one fucking idiot. Or, in this case, multiple idiots, because there's so much people driving. So many fucking idiots that are driving. That it doesn't matter how good you are. Doesn't matter how bad you are. Doesn't matter if you have a license or not. Most likely, because of other people that don't know how to drive or just don't give a shit, they will be the cause of your demise. Or the cause of you having to pay several $1,000s to fix your damn car. So yeah. I think, okay, here's what I'm thinking. And I think there might be something for some states. I think that, as long as you follow the rules of the road, have your turn signals on, turn, whatever. I mean, turning left or right, you gotta judge. It's like, okay, do I want to make a wide turn, or how far do I have to be? How much do I have to hold the steering wheel, whatever. Yeah, that's all about judgment right there. But as long as you're not drinking and driving, smoking and driving, don't have your cell phone out and start texting random people, which I see all the fucking time, and it's stupid and fucking pissed me off. I just made a whole rant video, I think, about the whole, people that drive. And, as long as you're abiding all the rules, I don't think it should really matter if you have a license or not. I mean, there are people that, they don't have a license, they drive, they follow the rules, they stay in their lane, they follow the speed limit perfectly, like, let's say it's 35. Actually, some people go a little bit slower than that, like around 30. And those people are good, So I think, even without a license, obviously, yeah, you're still going to need one, but as long as you're abiding by the rules of how, of driving and being on the road and all that, I think that if a cop pulls you over, or if someone pulls you over, whatever, you don't have a license, it shouldn't be that big of a deal. Because, if you think about it, you're following the rules, you're doing good. But most likely, if you're being pulled over, you're somehow breaking the rules. The whole stereotypical question that a cop would ask you is, do you know how fast you were going? Well, you gotta pay attention to that shit. You gotta pay attention. It's like, oh, okay, this is 35, how fast am I? Oh, I'm going 40. Oh, better slow down just a little bit. So yeah, as long as you realize the rules and you follow the rules and all that stuff, basically don't do anything that would get the cops pulling you over when you're driving, you should be good, regardless. That's what I think. There's people that would disagree with me. There's like two sides to every fucking coin here. There are people that are with me. It's like, oh, you don't really need a license as long as, and you shouldn't need a license as long as you abide by the rules and you follow the rules and do as you're supposed to do on the road and all that stuff. And then there are people that are going on the opposite. They're going to be like, oh, no, fuck that shit. Fuck that shit. You still would have to have a license for whatever. Okay. And also, okay, this I've read online. A lot of people are saying, and I can kind of agree with them on this one, and kind of not, that it's a right as an American to drive. Well, yes, it is, but only if you abide by the rules, like I said before. And, it's not really a right if you just fuck up and don't abide by the rules and be an asshole about it. Like most of the world's population. Hell, I'm sure the person that crashed into Markiplier's niece that caused her to die was probably one of those people that don't even care about the rules or whatever. Now I know it could be a very simple accident, and that accidents happen no matter what, no matter if you're the most careful person in the whole fucking world, even universe, or not. It doesn't really matter. Accidents will happen because there's always going to be that one person that's like, that misjudges a turn, or accidentally does something else, whatever. And you get, like, a car in your bumper, or you accidentally hit the back of another car, causing your car to have a little bit of damage. It happens. Accidents happen, and stuff like that. But the whole thing, I think, about needing a driver's license, it depends on the person, I think. Like me, I don't think I should have a license, really, to drive. I just need to follow the rules and be a good person on the road and be courteous of others and all this good shit. It's like, turning and, whatever. I know 10 and 2 basically on a steering wheel. And I know 25-50% depending on what kind of turn you're trying to make, either left or right. Just kind of move the wheel just a little bit to kind of control it. Otherwise, you're going to go onto the other lane or crash into a tree or some shit. You know, the left and right parts will be your windshields and your turn signals. Also, use your turn signals and shit. It should be good, really. I think as long as you abide by the rules, you should be fine, and I don't think you would need to have a license. Now, if you're a person, like, I think there are some people, like I said before, they need license. They need to pass the test or whatever in order to actually start driving. But if you're a person that knows the road and knows how to stay safe and all that stuff, I think that's good. You know, there shouldn't be any reason to need a license or any sort of permit. Another thing that a lot of people don't really do is turn off the radio. I know a lot of people like music in their cars, but I think, you know, for me, I'm going to turn that shit off when I start driving. If I ever drive, you won't be hearing any goddamn music whatsoever. You better have your earbuds in and your phone and all that shit. Because there ain't going to be any music on the radio. Because I think that kind of loses your focus and concentration. Because if, you know, even if it's just a song that you don't really like, or it's not really, you don't think it's going to lose your focus, it probably will. And if it's a song that you really, really, really love, if you want to hear the song all the way, you should, like, pull over and just wait until the song is done. You know? Because, I mean, think about it. People are more focused on the lyrics of the song, even though they probably heard the song about 1 billion times. They're focused on the lyrics. They're focused on this and that. Tons of different variables here. And that makes you lose your focus. And that could possibly cause you to wreck, or go off the road, hit a tree, go into the river, whatever. Because sometimes those guardrails don't help. You'll still go down. So, long story short, this video is all about, I think that some people need permits and license, other people don't. I mean, obviously a lot of people are going to be like, oh, I don't need a license, but I guess that's how you tell who deserves a job and who doesn't. But I think if you're good on the road and if you understand everything, like, if I had a car, or any sort of vehicle that I was operating at the time, I would, like I said, go to the school and kind of practice turning and all that stuff there, or go to the funeral home and do the same thing. Some people say go out at night when there's not a lot of traffic and just, like, practice, you know, turning on the roads and stuff like that, like actual roads. Roads? Where we're going, we don't need roads. I don't know why I referenced Back to the Future, but I just did. But in all seriousness, you know, the whole thing about people needing permits, it should be the same, like, you know how you can technically legally drive at 16 as long as you have some sort of permit or something. I heard some places you have to be 15, you know, with accompanying adults or whatever. Accompanying, it sounds weird. But, you know, the whole thing, I mean, if you can vote, and if you can technically smoke and do all this stuff legally now at 18, I believe everything should be pushed to either 18 or 21. When you're 21, or even 18, just skip the whole license thing, and stuff like that. I mean, I know I'm probably going to get a lot of flack for this, but, and like I'm saying, I'm not saying that everybody deserves to have a permit or a license, or that everyone's fucking idiot when they're driving, even though the majority of people are. You know who you are. But what I am saying is that some people should be able to drive if they want to, and if they turn out to be fucking idiots and stupid people that don't know how to drive, or like being fucking idiots and causing chaos, and those people need to either not be allowed to drive at all, or jail or whatever, or fine. But if you're a person that abides by the rules and knows how everything works and can actually stay safe and take care of yourself on the road and maybe with other people in the car as well, or in any other vehicle in general, you shouldn't really need a license. Because think that you already know how this works. You've done it before. You basically are smart enough to know not to be a fucking idiot, obviously. So, I want to know what you guys and gals think about this whole thing. Please leave a comment down below. I mean, I think 16 would be good enough for a license, but if you're 18 or older, probably not. I mean, you had basically 2 years to know how to do shit. I know I just recently looked stuff up on YouTube, and looking stuff up on YouTube isn't the same as actually doing it, but if you do it on YouTube or anything else, you kind of get an idea. Another thing should be, if that's not the case, if this shouldn't be a thing, please let me know why down in the comments down below. But another thing is that if you pass your driver's test, there should be a driver's test online, right? Where it's like virtually. It's like virtual reality. It's like think about it with the Kinect on Xbox or with the Wii Remote. You would be driving, not really driving a car, but it would be like virtual reality or something like that. And then, you do all these things that somehow is connected to the DMV or BMV or whatever, the people that see your driver's license and all that. If you get a good score, like 100% or whatever, then you should get your license automatically, whether it be in the mail or go pick it up immediately wherever you go to pick up your license. And I think that would be a good thing, because basically you're simulating driving without really driving, and if you succeed, you basically know what you're doing and all this stuff. But that, they could have simulated traffic cones and pedestrians and other cars, vehicles in general, and stuff like that, and basically make it look like a real road, like real areas, like maybe Los Angeles or maybe wherever you're driving, like maybe Pomeroy, Ohio or whatever. And then if you get a good enough score, you pass. If not, you don't. It's like an actual fucking test. If doing stuff. I believe 70 is like an F or some shit. Like you fail if you get 70%. Actually, I think you have to have 70% or higher. I believe. I think that's what it is in Ohio. I'm not sure about everywhere else. But again, I want to know what you guys and gals think down below in the comment section. What do you think about the whole thing? I think this, like I said, this is just what I think. I don't think it's really a big deal if you drive without a license. Now, if you have a suspended license for certain reasons, that's an issue. If you forge a license, Again, as long as you're abiding by the rules, yeah, you're making a fake license and all that good shit, but again, if you're abiding by the rules and you know what you're doing and all this shit, you should be fine. That's what I'm thinking. But, you know, again, that's just my personal opinion. Like, if you get pulled over, it's probably your own damn fault, okay? And you probably should have a license or something like that because you're getting pulled over. But if you're abiding by the rules, going the speed limit, maybe a little bit, just a bit lower, and, 10 and 2, and, just doing things as you should be doing on the road, basically doing things that won't allow you to get pulled over, then you basically should not really have a need, any need to have a license to drive. Just, you might need to know how to drive, but yeah. I hope you understand what I'm getting at in this video. But if you like this video, please give it a like, if not a sign too. Again, let me know in the comment section down below, what are your thoughts on the whole thing. I personally think, everything I just said. Long story short, if you know what you're doing, you shouldn't really have any need to have a license. But if you don't know what you're doing and get pulled over, then you should probably have a license the next time you start driving. And don't forget to subscribe and click the bell icon down below to get notified of my future uploads and live streams. And as always, I will see you on the next video. Peace out, people. And bro, boom.